there's this incredible cultural critique that came along with your reflections on your experience as a child star. Now, was this 7 years of reflections, or how did you come to some of the realizations that you ultimately wrote about in the book? And did they evolve as the writing process continued?
Yes, they did. I'll start there and work my way backwards with your questions. Actually, three-quarters of the way through, I uncovered documents about my childhood that had a completely different story of what happened. So I had to reconcile new information and figure out how that would unfold into the narrative I was already crafting. And I did need to make some adjustments, but you actually get to see some of those revelations in the pages. Don't know if you've gotten to that section yet. You said you have a couple chapters left.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
so
So
you
lots to look
might
forward
be a
to.
first. Yes. And then in terms of the writing process, to select which moments stay and which moments go, at the heart of it, I not only wanted to provide, yes, the juicy, intimate details from the sets growing up, but today in addition to being a performer, I'm a mental health practitioner.
Mm.
I run, a small business. I am a public advocate. And so my perspective in this conversation is one of a person who's constantly trying to unpack all of the different myths that affect us, all of the different power dynamics that we're interacting with in our systems on a daily basis, and to make sense of the world in a way where there's some semblance of clarity at the end. And so I think, you might show up for one thing and then realize we're actually going to be talking about family dynamics and interactions with the church and
Mm.
also, things like exploring sexuality and in a way that's hopefully very nuanced, and I'm not just kind of naming, blaming, shaming people as some might expect from a former child star who might be coming forward and talking about the tragedy. I mean, it's just hopefully when you're reading it, it's got so many other layers and you get to experience the complexity in a very immersive way.
And because your story is honestly very complex and dynamic, you're probably realizing that readers and fans are resonating with different parts of your story in different ways, which is also probably
Totally.
very fun and kind of interesting to see.
Totally. Yeah, you've got folks who maybe are fans of pop culture, who are, you know, elated to learn about what actually happened on the Missy Elliott music video set. And then you've got other folks who are like therapists or educators who are reflecting on different milestones that I refer to related to child development. You've got other folks who maybe have experiences or are still in the church, who are reckoning with the beliefs that, seem true to their core versus the beliefs that seem to be reflective of our society and maybe things that we need to actually deeply examine or shift. And it's a deeply human exploration for
Mm.
sure. And circling back to your question, so yes, I did spend 7 years researching media culture, child development, industry protocols, but my healing journey started 20 plus years ago.
Mm.
So I was already unpacking this and processing from, my teen years in, thankfully, a very safe therapeutic setting. And I don't know where I would be without that kind of um, support system because I do know for a lot of my peers, we end up following what I call the toddler to train wreck pipeline of child performers, where it does end in really, you know, deleterious ways,
Yeah.
to put it lightly. So I'm thankful that I'm living to tell the story and also providing insight as to how we can intervene and shift things so that this book can be genre ending.
Mm.
It's the last of its kind that needs to be written.
Right, right. That's such a good point because obviously you're doing the work with Movement Genius.
Mhm.
Tell me about that and how you are helping others in who could have been in some of the situations that you experienced if they didn't have someone like Alyson Stoner there to help.
Oh, well, insert anyone's name who's qualified. It will not only be me. I have some skills and I will show up and work within my scope whenever possible. Um, and, oh, That's my phone. One moment.
Okay.
What is going on that I have an alarm?
All good.
Okay.
It was the alarm for another book sold.
Yeah, right? Let's hope. Um, so so after I started stepping away from performing, I got several certifications in the mental health field, and I co founded a company with my sister called Movement Genius. Movement Genius provides therapist led content to support well being, and we also provide virtual and in person community classes. So, this is for everyone, not just folks in entertainment. And so, we've got people who are healthcare workers, people who are teachers, people who are, staying at home and raising children, all using these stress relief techniques just to manage the highs and lows of every given day. Where the performance aspect ties into this is that we've now designed Artist Wellbeing Essentials Toolkit, which is the very resource that I wish we all would have had growing up in the industry. As you pursue performance uh, endeavors, they come with very unique psychological and emotional factors. It is not every job that you are making believe of an you're on a set potentially reenacting very traumatizing situations, and a whole crew is there lighting the shot and in on it with you. That's just not a typical job site. So you need some other skills and tools and protocols that look out for everyone's well-being for that particular job site. So we made this toolkit, which is available now, and young artists and families can feel more equipped when they pursue performing. And it doesn't
Mm.
have to be in the industry. It might just be when you're in community theater and you're feeling the jitters before you go on stage. Like there are tools in there for that as well.